Yo, guys, it's Old Man G here, back again for the match reaction. Um, and Manchester United are through to the FA Cup semi-final, but why does it feel like a loss? Why does it feel like a loss? Tune in for the match reaction. Usually I do these a bit later, but I want to do it early because I've just got work to do and different things. But before we get into it, guys, if you are new to the channel, to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter, Twitch, Kick, Instagram, all the socials, all links in the description below. But make sure that you support the Old Man G here, and give him some love. Um, yeah, that happened. As you can see, Coventry 3, Manchester United 3. But Manchester United just win the game over on penalties. I don't know what to say really. Built the club never ceased. I mean, it's. I've had time to sort of calm down a little bit. I didn't obviously go live straight away. There's a part of me that thinks it probably should have gone on live, but I'm not sure. But I just want to just sort of, you know, break things down and really process what I just saw, because United were 3-0 up. United were 3-0 up. And obviously, by the way, guys, so if you want to, I actually post a link in the description. If you want to come on and have your say, then please let me know. I'll post a link in the description for those, if you're watching, you want to come on to the show. United were 3-0 up after 58 minutes. Okay. It was good. The first half was clearly, United had the ball. Now, you can go back and say about team selection. I can't blame Manchester team selection, aside from, again, the whole why is Rashford starting in Ahmad. But even then, you're like, it's Coventry. I'm not worried. I'm not concerned. It's Coventry. So although they played well in the last fixture, but it's Coventry. So I look at the lineup and think that lineup, that starting 11 should be enough. Even though I'm a little bit concerned that our only fit centre back is Maguire, and we have Casemiro. But still, I'm still not worried. And at the end of the day, at least for 58 minutes of that game, there was no issue. Like, at the end of the day, United were, I think for most people, after 58 minutes, it was like, it's a done game. Like 3-0. Even I tweeted, I was like, it's game over. Big up Martinez. So even though I've just big up to yourself, bro, man, what just happened? What just happened? I'm looking at 58 minutes going 3-0, and I'm not even, and almost for the first time all this season, I'm sort of just like, right, okay, I can just finally relax. I'll busy do everything. This game is basically won. It's won. The game is won. It's won. It's no big deal. And I'm sure Ten Hag thought that, and then obviously decided to make substitutions. And this is where things starts to go downhill. Obviously, Garnacho comes off. And is it Ellis Sims? I think, so Ellis Sims. I don't, from what it was, yeah, I can't remember how they scored their first goal again. I feel like it was like a deflection or something. No. The second goal was a deflection. Maynard went off as well. Yeah, he did. The second goal was a deflection, if I remember. I can't remember how they scored the first goal, but after the one, I was like, okay. Okay, they won one goal, but it's 71 minutes when they score. Okay, so I'm like, it's one goal, okay, fine, but we should still probably still see the game out. Now, I think Garnacho comes off, and then I think Mainu then comes off something after that. And I think as soon as Mainu came off, we started to lose control of the game. And suddenly Coventry are countering us, pressing us. Eriksen comes on. He doesn't have the legs. You think he's there to try and slow down the game, penetrate the balls. He doesn't. He doesn't have the pace. Casemiro doesn't have the pace. Even Maguire doesn't. And suddenly we have issues. And then 8 minutes later, we've conceded the goal. And when you're thinking, right, let's just try and see out, suddenly, the deflection of Wan-Bissaka, like, it's not going in if the deflection isn't there, but these things happen in football, unfortunately. These things happen in football, the deflection happens, and it's 3-2, and you're like, right, okay, it's now happening again. You know, it was the same thing against Chelsea where we should have been in control. I'll bet that was 3-2, but we give away a penalty, and there's a deflection. Literally, those two things happen in this game. For the second goal, deflection, just like mctomiany had a deflection, because and this is one of the patterns that's happened all season right now, is the amount of chances that United concede is ridiculous. Like, if this was any other team, you don't concede those chances. Why is it that somehow we still, and I don't know if it's the player personnel, it's the manager's coach, whatever it is, why are we still conceding chances? You can criticize Onana, you can even criticize our defense all you want, but we shouldn't be conceding this many chances. Why is Callum even allowed to get that shot off? Why don't we have the ball? Why don't we hold the ball? Or why don't Coventry chase it? Why doesn't that happen? I don't get it. But he gets the shot off. Obviously, the deflection goes in, and then the third decision. I mean, okay, people can say, oh, it's it doesn't. It's harsh. At the end of the day, for me, it's not a penalty. Okay, you cannot tell me that yesterday, because it's the same thing. Because it's the same thing. The commentators are saying, oh, his arm is away from his body. Yeah, his arm away from his body. Okay, but his arm comes down. Grealish's arm was also away from his body, but the arm comes down. Like, it's 50-50, etc. No one's talking about that. That was a penalty for me. But fair enough, the referees have said that for whatever reason, i.e. bribe tax or micro tax, it's not a penalty. Someone needs to explain to me why that's a penalty. Where's his arm supposed to go? His arm's out. Okay, I'd understand it. I'd understand it actually if the ball came, his arm's out, but away from his body, and the ball hits him as his arm is out away from the body, like that. I get that. But what I don't get is, naturally, when his arm's out, his arms are going to come down. So why is it that in a natural motion with, i.e. gravity, when his arm comes down, that because his arm came down towards the ball, you give that as a penalty, but you didn't give it against Grealish? I don't get that. I don't get that. I really, really, really don't get that. And like I said, I've said so on the channel, I don't understand the handball rule anymore. It makes no sense. There's no consistency with it at all. Before, it was just obvious. If your arm is in an unnatural position, you give it. If it's like out of the width thing, you give it. Now it just, if it hits your arm out there, you give as a penalty. If your arm is at least in a position, then it's fine. Or if your arm is clearly going out towards the ball, that is handball. That's the definition that I go by. I don't go by this definition that the UEFA and the Premier League use, which seems to be, when I decide it is a handball, depending on which team I support, it becomes a handball. I don't understand. So that's my handball ran out of the way. But it is what it is. Somehow Manchester United were cruising a 3-0 and are now 3-3, and it's like, and it's now chaos. And now you're expecting the leaders, because as much as people are going to criticize Ten Hag and say, hang on a minute, you shouldn't have brought off Maine, you shouldn't have brought Garnacho, the reality is that we are relying on an 18-year-old and a 19-year-old to save this club. That's embarrassing. Garnacho and Mainu should not be the ones to be carrying Manchester United Football Club. There are experienced players in that team. They're experienced players today. I mean, if I go back to the lineup here. Okay. Onana is experienced. Casemiro is experienced. Dalot is experienced. Maguire is experienced. Wan-Bissaka is. McTominay is. Mainu isn't. Garnacho isn't. Højlund isn't ish. I'll give him a slack. Fernandes. So you've got experienced players there. All those players that I mentioned, bar Maguire, and maybe Onana because of the saves he made. Everyone else, I don't get it. Dalot, I think, was okay. Wan-Bissaka, This guy, who's now on 300k a week. Like I don't and as I think he says the rational was I for me, you don't I don't know why we decided to get because PSG, all these people might be interested or whatever. I literally don't 300k a week for what exactly? You know, you're coming out and saying, "Oh, I care," or something like. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I don't see it because Ahmad came on in this game and was light years ahead of you in terms of his in terms of his decision making, his positioning. I'm not saying Ahmad was perfect, but in my mind, I'm like, imagine if he would be played Garnacho on the left, Ahmad on the right, and Højlund in the middle. For me, if you're Ten Hag, you do that from now on. Rashford should be benched. Bruno, I'd still bench Bruno. Put Mount where Bruno is. You know, but the Mountain's injured, so whatever. And Casemiro for me, play Amrabat with Mainoo instead of because Casemiro looks like he's spin. I'm gonna get to Casemiro later. I'm gonna dunk on that for later. I'm gonna dunk on it for later, but it goes to extra time, and we're being broken. We're being torn apart. We're actually being torn apart in this game during extra time. I can't remember us having any really clear chances. I mean, we're trying to score, we're trying to get attack and press them, but really, Coventry are more dangerous. And literally, but for VAR, who screwed us over before, but for VAR, you know, we're in trouble. But for VAR, we are actually in trouble. We're actually in trouble because I'm looking at that, I'm thinking, man, Coventry are in the final. Coventry in the final. Wan-Bissaka looks like he's playing him on. Coventry in the final. And then they do it, and I'm like, it's offside. You know, some people might say it's harsh or thing or whatever, but oops, sorry about that. Some people might say it's harsh or blah, 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 whatever. To be honest, offside is probably one of the few things, the few consistent sorry, 1 second. That's better. Yeah, that lighting is much better. Offside is one of the few consistent things that the Premier League and refs get right. So I'm perfectly happy with offside. Like people are offside. Listen, at the end of the day, it's consistent for everybody. Either you're on or you're offside. If you're offside, even if it's by a pubic hair or small toenail, whatever, yeah, but it's offside. End of discussion. So that is consistent. It's unlucky for Coventry because I didn't even celebrate. I was like, I wish it was because, you know, then these bums could have some accountability, but it wasn't. So it is what it is. Make sure you like the vid and subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, you know, Twitch, Twitter, you know, all that jazz. And then it's basically 50-50. It's a penalty. And I don't know how Coventry will take. I'm not sure. All I know is that Onana is, you know, is a decent penalty stopper. Not completely, but decent. And that we have experience and that in theory we should do it. That was basically my thing. Like in theory, you know, we're better. We should be able to, you know, we should be able to go through. But if we don't, we only have ourselves to blame. And thankfully, I mean, well, okay, well, sorry, before I even get to that, someone in the chat needs to explain to me what Casemiro was doing. So someone actually needs to explain to me what exactly was Casemiro thinking taking that penalty, especially after what happened midweek with Bernardo Silva. Like, I was like, are you serious? Are you actually serious? That was one of the worst penalties I've seen someone take in the United, just casually. And the thing is, his body language seemed to be like, And that's what concerns me. Like the body language by some of these players was just kind of like, yeah. Like not a kind of like a just the petting, just not just no nothing. Just okay, yeah, I missed. Yeah, I missed. Yeah, no big deal. Yeah, I missed. Okay, sure, cool. That was it. It was strange. It was strange. But thankfully, I don't remember the penalty takers. Did they show the penalty takers? I don't think they showed the penalty this thing. But if I remember, yeah, Dallo after Casemiro bricked his penalty, Dallos took his and scored. Um, who else scored? Bruno scored. That was two. Uh, I think Rashford took a penalty as well. Yeah, Rashford took a penalty as well, and Hoyland took a penalty, I think, and they all scored their penalties. Yeah, and obviously the Coventry, just with the experience, um, they missed, and you know, if you're Coventry, it's unlucky. Like I said, I was almost tempted to say in this chat, unlucky Coventry. To be honest, if you are Coventry, it's unlucky. It's unlucky because to the mentality to come back and fight and still not give up, despite the fact that um you're the underdogs, your championship. I'm assuming Coventry championship, your championship team is to be commended. And you saw at the end, the United players they didn't really celebrate. They were just kind of like, there was almost quite a bit of embarrassment, I think, um, from um, from the Manchester United players. Like, almost like, how can we, you know, is this even acceptable? Like, what is it that we're doing? Oh, Rashford didn't take a. Sorry, 1 second. Rashford didn't take a. Dallo. Oh, Ericsson. Oh, for some reason, I don't know why. I don't know why. My mind blocked out Ericsson. Rashford didn't take a penalty. Probably good then. So be it. Overall, like under no, even when we beat the penalty shot up against Brighton, I was like, yeah, did it these things, but like this, I don't even know how to feel like. I just aside from just embarrassed. It'd be a different story if like Coventry battered us and we did like a smash and grab type of thing. I could even get that, or if we played, but it's just the manner in which we won that game. It's just not good. And to be honest, I don't really know what it achieves because if you play like that now, when the FA Cup final will obviously occur at the end of the season, and the hope, at least I hope anyway, is that our team will be fit for that. Like Ten Hag will actually have. I don't think it'll matter because I think we'll still probably lose, but at least have a fit bench to play from. Lizandro will be fit, Mount will be fit, Varane will be fit, Shaw will hopefully be fit. We'll have players that are available who can come in and potentially do something and make us play better. So we can't play. I mean, I say that, but you never know. United, we can't play as bad as we did against Coventry. But no, this was like I said, this team is killing me, man. I'll be honest, I don't enjoy watching Manchester United. I thought at least the 58 minutes that I could just chill and relax and just enjoy Manchester United game, but they couldn't even do that. And now I guess I'll speak on Ten Hag before we get to the player ratings because now I've had time to calm down. While this is 50-50, it's on the players, it's on Ten Hag. What's not on Ten Hag is that he doesn't have a lot to choose from at the beginning, aside from maybe you start Ahmad instead of Rashford. But other than that, I can't really see him doing anything wrong because it's just not. The players aren't available, so that's fine. You got no left backs, you got no centre backs. You got to makeshift that. So I don't have any issue with that. What I have issue with, and to be honest, when he brings on the players, the experienced players, you expect experienced players to be able to see out the game. You can't rely on 19, 18-year-olds to do that. But what I can say is that tactically, you're still like your in-game management consistently this season has been poor when it comes to seeing out games. Like one thing, as you said, Wan-Bissaka can't play left back. Play down there and put Wan-Bissaka right back. Exactly. Wan-Bissaka at left back is Dallo at least at left back is okay. Wan-Bissaka at left back is not great. Although we got the assist from Dallo on that side, so I don't know. There you go. That's but even now I'm like okay, whatever. But tactically, even though yes, you can rely on Mainu, Garnacho, and the young kids, etc. Because these guys have had a week rest. Like it's not like City that have played midweek. Mainu, Garnacho, these guys have had a week off. They've had a week off. Garnacho, I can probably understand, but then you bring Ahmad on, for example. Fine, do that. That works. Okay, Ahmad, Anthony, I don't know, Anthony, but Ahmad, sure. But Mainu, when you don't have a midfield, like you've got to keep Mainu on. I'm sorry, you got to keep Mainu on. Like he's rested for a week. He should be able to play 90 minutes. You got to keep him on. You got to keep him on. But even then, it's difficult. Now I said I've calmed down. It's like you're 3-0 up, and it's what? And then it's and they score in the 71st minute. So you've got 90 minutes left of normal time. 20 minutes left. You should be able to see the game out. The experience should be able to see the game out. Then you can see that another goal, 3-2, and then it's a penalty. So, but this unfortunately is a pattern with Manchester United this season. Not being able to see out games, conceding silly goals, conceding sloppy goals, and the reality and not playing well from the start. That's it. Let me have a look. Big up Samasi. Why has Ahmad been banned ever since he scored? I don't know. Because Rashford has to start apparently. It has to be. I don't know if there's something in Rashford's contract, but it has to be Rashford, Garnacho, and Højlund, and Rashford has to play on the left and Garnacho on the right. Even though I think Garnacho is better off the left and Ahmad is on the right, but I know maybe it's in his contract. I'd like to know from the club. He's on 300k a week. So because for me, people need to be careful when it comes to Ten Hag out. People need to be careful and know that it's not just on the manager. Because we said this is Ollie. We've said this with so many other managers. When this team of managers, they're going to do this. Like, when Ollie leaves and Ten Hag comes in, he's going to play Van der Beek, but he didn't play Van der Beek. Yes, okay, he's dropped to place Maguire and McTominay, but to be honest, Maguire and McTominay probably saved the guy this season with their goals and the defending. If you want to keep a stat, Maguire and McTominay are probably the reason why Ten Hag is still in the job, even though they want to be sold. From whether it's from their goals or the fact that their availability in the case of Maguire. United should be ashamed of themselves. What was that from? Yeah. But United are not a shameless club. Yeah, I don't know what's happened. For me, Casemiro feels like his mind is on the MLS or Saudi. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. Ten Hag needs to go. Yeah, but the problem is that who replaces him, and also who replaces these players. Because you're right, people say Ten Hag needs to go, but as I said yesterday with the Chelsea fans, where it's like Poch has set up this team to create many chances. Jackson didn't take it. Likewise, Ten Hag set his team, and we scored. We were 3-0 up. So for me, you need players with the mentality. If the senior players don't have the mentality to see out games, then sell them. Sell Casemiro, sell Eriksen in the summer, and get experienced midfielders who aren't going to make that mistake. We've got pace. Simple. Like, because I'm looking at this squad and I'm like thinking, okay, Varane has got to go. Maguire probably has to go, although you make a case you hold on to him. Evans is gone. McTomiany, in theory, needs to go unless they convert him into a striker, proper striker, then he can stay. Casemiro needs to go. Eriksen needs to go. Martial needs to go. Those are at a minimum. You could then add in potentially Rashford and Antony also need to go as well. Do you get rid of Lindelof as well? You now think about Martinez, but I mean, we'll see. You'll give him a season, but if he's not going to play all season, then you can't just have an injured player all season and that just be the norm. Like Eric Bailly, you just can't have that. We can't afford to have that anymore. So there's at least 11 players in that squad that you're like, we probably need to sell these guys, and that's frightening. So yes, we can talk about Ten Hag going, but you also need to sell 9 to 11 players as well, and that's not going to happen. So what guarantee do you have that new manager is going to come in and do something with these players? Because they're not. Penalty. Yeah. If Coventry had started the way they finished, they would have won. I mean, in fairness, what I would say is that I think that again, they could play that way because Garnacho and Manu came off. In my opinion, it's very difficult when you've got someone who's got pace like Manu, who can like track players, who can run back, who can intercept, versus Eriksen, who can't do that because he's got no legs. Or for example, Garnacho, who can run at your pace and can, more importantly, hold up the ball. I'm not saying his passing is amazing, but he can hold up the ball. Rashford can't. Rashford just gets it, runs into and loses the ball, which a lot of our forwards do. Hold up, run, lose the ball, break. Can't hold the ball up to save the lives at all, No composure or rash. Yep, we've done that. Maguire and McTomiany should be West Ham players at the moment. They should. And they're saving United. Casemiro on the type, yep, and the players need to go. Everyone might always have a problem with these core set players. Yeah, they are. But it's like I said, I just don't see I can't see United under the Ineos or Glazed or whatever it is getting rid of 11 players. Even though what was the name? Ragnick said we needed open surgery. Ragnick said we needed open surgery, and I don't know what surgery that we did, but it was a botched job. This is the type of game that you let someone like, and I hate to bring it up over and again, but you think of someone like Fred, who had the energy, who had the just imagine Fred in this midfield. Imagine if instead of bringing on Eriksen, you brought on Fred, and then you have someone who could at least run, press, etc., got the pace, etc. We have zero pace in that midfield, and somehow, and this is why I do blame the manager. Somehow the manager's like, yeah, it's fine. Get rid of Fred because it's not good enough, but keep Eriksen, keep the players that I know on my side. I don't get that. I don't get that. Anyway, let's do the player ratings, and then I'm going because I'm tired of these guys. I'm tired. I really am. Let's quickly go. Share this tab instead. So hopefully everyone can see that. Right. Okay. Big up United Stan as well for these. I appreciate it. Right. Yeah, credit United Stan for this. And let's see if I agree with the community. Let me know what you guys think as well. Onana. Durande says, didn't everyone say Arteta in his first few hours? You have to trust the process. The team was from the start. These players are talented and telling them can get that out of them. Getting a new manager will stick and to fix the team. Just a couple of signs can fix this side, says Durande. Now, first of all, big up Durande who's watching on Twitch. You're right. You're right and you're wrong. You're right and you're wrong. And I'll tell you why. The first thing with Arteta is that at least with Arteta, and I said this as well. I know Arsenal fans. I didn't say actually Arteta actually, because one of the things that I noticed of Arteta early on is that I was like, I could see what he was trying to do. It's just that one, their defending wasn't great, and two, they didn't really have, and they still technically don't have a clinical goal scorer. So I was like, just like Chelsea, where I'm like, I can kind of see what they need to do, but if they just have someone clinical, that would be the last key piece. With United, I don't know. I don't know. United, I don't know. And with Arteta, the signings and players that Arteta brought in have significantly improved the squad. Like, you know, there might have been one or two things, but he's improved the players already had, and the signings he's made, whether it's Odegaard, whether it's Trossard, whether it's did he make the Gabriel signing? You know, he's made signings that have clearly, you know, you can talk about Jesus and Havertz, but I'm not going to say that any of those guys are bums or flops. You know, they have they taken Arsenal to a higher level? Probably not, but the side has still improved. I look at Ten Hag signings and I'm like, which one of these has actually really improved this team? And the only one that stands out is Lisandro Martinez from last season, and he's not he's been injured for a season. Other than that, who else? Yes, they've had injuries, but you're like, Mount. Did we need Mount? Did Mount really improve? Has Mount really improved United when he's played? No. Onana, has he improved us? You know, I don't like to go the back of him because he's got a lot of shots, but no, he's not. He's not. You know, Ericsson and Casemiro, again, last season, okay, fine. They were good. They were stable. Now, both those guys look like they're past it, look like no pace. They're worse than Nemanja Matic was. And Nemanja Matic had, and they're younger. Matic had more longevity. You know, Matic had more longevity. You know, so Anthony is now a bench player now. 70 million. No, 95 million. He's now a bench player. So you spend all this money, and I can't think of a single player that you brought in so far in the first two seasons, with maybe the exception of Lisandro, that has significantly improved Manchester United. So for me, that's a problem. That's the biggest issue for me. It's not that. It's that, can I trust Ten Hag with another 200, 300 million pounds to actually bring in the players to actually improve this team and take them forward? Because so far, I'm not seeing it. And yes, some of that is injuries, but in the case of Mount was injury prone last season, and he was in the final of his contract. So why do we invest 60 mil? Rasmus, I appreciate Rasmus' support as a second striker. So I'm not going to go. I'm not going to. You know, it is. It just what it is. It just is what it is. Right, so I'm going to use all my juju when I say this. This team is going to get it. Yeah. I say this game over. The team, yeah. Bro, the only way we're beating City in the FA Cup is if it comes to penalties. Because actually, I think that we would win a penalty shootout. You know, I actually think United will win a penalty shootout against City, but that's the only way. The only way United will win the FA Cup is if we take City to penalty shootout. That's the only way United are winning FA Cup. Yeah, He was like, Anias, please, I'm praying that your club saves football. We're not saving any football, man. Sorry, we're not. We're not, unfortunately. You know, the best United team can accomplish is getting Europa League football next season. That's it. You need to sign young players that are willing to prove themselves out. Yeah, I mean, but it's a combination, like, because you don't want to do what Chelsea have done and sign all players under 25, and you just got inexperience, you've got all this stuff. Like, no, you can't do that. It's got to be a mixture of both. That's United. You know, we're not like a development team like Dortmund or Brighton, where you're supposed to develop young players. Yeah, it's a mixture. That's how United has always been. The class of 95 had experience with them as well. You know, you need that. And right now, this season, the biggest issue is that the experienced players are letting down the youngsters. That's the biggest issue, you know. Is that Baylor's amazing one? This is AK. Oh, big up this. Oh, thanks for following me on Twitch, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it for putting on Twitch, man. And for those watching, I've got a Twitch stream. I'm on Twitter, and so I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Trying to get affiliated on Twitch, I think, amongst other things. So if you do have a Twitch account, it'd be really helpful if you watch me on Twitch as opposed to YouTube, so I can get that affiliated. That'd be great. Let me quickly do the player ratings and we'll bounce because I've got to go in a second. So let's quickly do these. El Claxo predictions. My reversing says Barcelona 2, Real Madrid 1. My head says that it probably will be a tie, actually. That's what I think. I think it'll be a tie. I think Barcelona will want to recover after midweek, and I think Real Madrid, you know, they know that the league is in the bag. So I don't think necessarily think they'll go full throttle. And I think maybe they're still recovering from midweek as well. Right. Onana, I'll give Onana a 7. I don't know why people are giving him a 6 because he saved the penalty in a penalty shootout, which De Gea would never have done. I'll just say that out there. De Gea barely saved penalty. Onana has saved, was it 2, maybe 3 penalties this season? De Gea saves would save 1 penalty once every 2 or 3 seasons. So yeah. And he made a few key saves, so he's not the reason why. I don't think you can do anything about, you know, the first goal when it comes around, it's too fast. No, I don't think you can do anything about that. Second, can't do anything about that, and third is a penalty. So I don't blame the goals. Dallo, I'll give Dallo a 6. An okay game, 5.7. But I think had an okay game. I can't really blame him. He got an assist as well. So I can't really, you know, I can't really cuss the guy. What was making Man United sign against him? I don't know. How old is Kimmich? It seems like another one of those attitude signings. I don't want to really sign attitude players. Maguire, I'll give a 7 actually. I think Maguire, and actually Maguire looked more lively in the. He was one of our best players today, and has been arguably one of our best players this season. And you're saying this as people wanting to sell him, but at the end of the day, you know, how can you sell? I don't know. You can't sell this guy. Sorry. Sorry. You can't, like, the Maguire not to Maguire is a good talking point because for me he's had a good season. Yeah, 29. I'm not sure, man. He's 29. I'm not sure. I wouldn't. For me, 25, if he was 20, 26, 27, 28 maybe, but not 29. So he comes at the age 30 and then the legs go. And Bundesliga players coming in, playing in a very physical, very fast, very intense. Like I just remember Bastian Schweinsteiger. He struggled. Yeah, we need to have a conversation and see as to whether you sell Maguire because at the end of the day, United are not going to spend. I highly doubt United are going to spend money signing 2 new centre backs. Varane is gone at the end of the season. Evans is gone. So centre back wise, you only have Maguire, Lindelof, Lisandro, and Willie, obviously, who's a youngster, and Lindelof is looking like he's becoming injury prone, like Varane. Willie, we're not sure yet. We'll see how it goes. Did I mention anybody else centre back wise? Just Harry Maguire. Yeah, that's it. Maguire, Lindelof. So for me, how can if you sell Maguire, you're only left with playing Lindelof because Varane's gone in the season and not on contract. Lisandro. You know, and it's like, you know, given the fact that Lisandro's been out all this season, for me, it's a risk. He's a risk because you'll quickly get in a situation where if Lozano gets injured again and Lindelof gets out, you're playing Maguire and Willie again, and you're relying on those two all season. You need at least another centre back too. So I don't think you can sell Maguire. I don't think you can. On the next window, he rejected us, man. He rejected us. He rejected us. He rejected us. So I'm not sure he rejected us. Let's have a look. Casemiro, man, this guy. He wasn't playing in his natural position. I'm giving him a 4. He wasn't playing in his natural position, but even when he was playing in his natural position, it probably would have. This guy is, maybe it's the British diet. I don't know. Maybe it's the British diet. I don't know. But Casemiro just hasn't looked good since January, man. Maybe even before. He just has not looked good. He's too slow. And it's just not good. Wan-Bissaka was very lucky. I mean, yeah, I'm going to give Wan-Bissaka 4 as well. He was very lucky, very, very lucky that was offside. Again, he wasn't playing in his natural position, so I don't want to give him too much because he's not a left back. You should play Dalot at left back or say right back. So I don't want to give him too much stick. But I have to judge people based on their performance this season. And unfortunately, and these two guys weren't in natural positions. So I don't want to go too harsh on them because they weren't in the natural positions. But it still wasn't good enough. And also these players have not had good recent games. So I'm taking that into consideration. So for example, Kobe's 6, again, Mr. Consistent, and you could see why as soon as Kobe came off, we capitulated. Kobe is basically our best midfielder. An 18-year-old is our best midfield player. Because as soon as Kobe comes off the midfield, we capitulate. We do. So you effectively need to play him, but almost for 90 minutes. If he's not there, we capitulate. McTomiany scored the goal. But I'll give him a 5 actually. So yes, he scored the goal, and I'm happy he did. But what else did he do? So this guy is in midfield. This guy is in his position. But what did he do? What did he do? What did he do? Yeah, Casemiro 2 still 4. What did he do? I don't know what he did. Bruno again got the goal. Do I give? Yeah, maybe give him a 6. Average performance. I don't think I've seen worse, but actually, no, I'm going to give him a 5 actually because he's the captain, and that capitulation. You're the captain of Manchester United. You need to stop that capitulation from happening. You need to calm the team down. You need to organize the squad, etc. And whatever you say about Maguire, we've capitulated way too many times. Way too many times with Bruno as captain. Way too many times. Garnacho for me when it was on, I'll give Garnacho a 6. I think Garnacho, again, we missed him when he came on. I think he had an okay game today. That ball was good. Again, I've seen him in better games, but for me, 6. Rashford. With Rashford, can someone tell me when he had a good game? When was the last time Rashford actually had a good game? When did he have a good game? 3. 2.4. I just don't know with Rashford. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything, to be honest, because I don't know what's happened to him. And I don't know if it's the manager, Ten Hag, but you had Ollie, who was your favorite fan. And I don't know, maybe Rashford was never this good and he's just lost his pace now. But even still, his decision making is still, and that's the key thing. It's like, yes, he might not have as much pace as he had, but the decision making of Rashford is still not there. And you can't coach that. So yeah, Rashford, yeah. I'm sorry, buddy. Hoyland, I'll give Hoyland a 5. Good hustle. But again, service. Although he does need to position himself better. And there was that one chance they had, to be fair, where like he takes a touch, he keeps it. So he had 1 or 2 opportunities where I'm like, Hoyland, you've got to and even some of his decision making sometimes when he was blasting it, I was like, but because this is first season's young, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. But some of his decision making today, I can understand why people would actually criticize him. Anthony didn't do anything when he came on. For Ericsson made us worse. For Diallo, I'll give a 6. For me, I don't know why people give him a 5, whatever, because he was infinitely better than Rashford, and he's not getting minutes. Like if Diallo had the same amount of time on the field that Rashford did, Ahmad gets us a goal at least, or an assist or something. Like, I'm sorry, tonight we're playing Sheffield United and Burnley at home. We are playing Sheffield United and Burnley at home this week. I don't want Rashford starting. If Amad Diallo can't start, or Mount, or any of these other players that you brought in, that you vouched for, because you stopped Amad from going out on loan, you bought Mount. Those are players I want to see. Those players in for Bruno and Rashford, and maybe plus or minus put Amrabat in over Casemiro. I want Casemiro, I want Rashford and Bruno out of this team. If you give me 2 out of this team, fine. But what I don't want to see is we are playing Sheffield United and Burnley at home. There is no reason why we can't give Ahmad minutes to play against those guys to do something. There's no reason. Forson is just a kid. I'll just give him a 6. And Ten Hag. What do you give to Ten Hag? Yeah, this is what I mean. People will talk about service, and yes, that is true to something, but he also needs to like have debates with Chelsea fans about this. And I don't know whether it's because he has made quite a few runs in the past, and now because the likes of Rashford, Anthony, and Bruno don't actually give him the ball, give him service. Bob, I've been in those positions when you're forward and you make so many runs during the game, and your wingers and your forwards are just greedy. And at the end of the day, they don't pass. And so you get disillusioned, so you don't bother. And that can carry on forward into a season. So that could be the case. If he's in a Pep team, for example, maybe that doesn't happen. I don't know. But what I do know is that, he has to make better runs. And McTominay has more of a striker instinct than Rashford has at the moment. Like, McTominay is making runs, position, run in the box. That's what I'm like, guys, just make McTominay a number 9. Just make McTominay a number 9. Seriously, just make McTominay a number 9. Just over the summer, Ten Hag or the club, if you're not getting McTominay, get another midfielder and make McTominay a number 9. Just tell him to be in the box and just make him the number 9. Make him the number 9. Like, literally, make him number 9 and get midfielder and say, listen, we don't have enough money to get a striker, but we're going to turn Scott McTominay into number 9 and we're going to invest in all the other places. Then that's fine. So Ten Hag, I'll give Ten Hag a 5. 3 is harsh. I'm gonna give actually, okay, 4. Okay. It's not the team selection is not on Ten Hag at the beginning. That's the only thing he can play. And also, at the end of the day, against Coventry, I'm sorry, but likes of Ericsson, Rashford, all the senior players should be able to get the job done. So I can't blame you. Can't blame the team being free. We were 3-0 up. 3-0 up after 71 minutes. I'm sorry, but you should be able to make subs and you should be able to expect your senior players to be able to see out the game at 3-0 against Coventry. I don't put that on Ten Hag. I don't put that on Ten Hag. So you can't just say, oh, he made the subs and this is no. Because we have a game on Wednesday against Sheffield United at home, whatever you say, and we've got a game against Burnley. You got to make subs, and you got to keep Mainu and Garnacho fit for those games. So I get that, but it's just happened too many times, and you know, maybe you take one off, you don't take another one off. I don't know. You probably can't keep take Mainu off though, because the midfield, or if you're going to do that, you take him off at like 80 minutes instead of 70 something minutes, maybe. Because you can't get pitch like that, and that has to come on the manager ultimately. I like Amad Diallo, fair enough. I just realized that I said 25, fair enough. Tijani Arenas would be good midfield option. He's 25 with himself. Fair enough. I think I would definitely look into on the transfer show when Tom comes back. But yeah, guys, we're done here, folks. I'm happy that we went through to the final, but to be honest, if we play like that, City are battering us. City are absolutely battering us. So I'm hoping that our team will be back, and more importantly, it will be a team performance in the final. But we'll see what happens, because you can't. This is your time for revenge. You lost last final, and you basically gave City the treble. We had an opportunity to stop a treble last season, and we didn't. Now we have an opportunity for revenge. Are these players going to take it? I don't know. Anyway, guys, remember to like, share, and subscribe to Adele Studio. Follow us on Twitter and Twitch. Links on the description. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. Have a nice day, guys, and cheers. Peace.